This podcast provides a platform that will share many different points of views that should empower you, uplift you, make you want to go out and do right. When you hear the term still a man, say, yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Still a man. Yes, I am. Let's go.
What's up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Still a Man podcast. Well, 7 weeks of deliberation, and now we're getting closer to a sentencing, which they haven't. They was rushed back into court today to try to light a fire under the judge, but still, as of right now, unless someone's heard something different, there still isn't any decision on the sentencing. They was pushing for a date of October 3rd, and now they are requesting the initial defense date. What they wanted was September 22nd, so they went back in to try to get the judge to change his mind and give Diddy an earlier sentencing. So they're basically saying we know what we've been convicted of, found guilty of. So let's go ahead and get the sentencing going. Let's go ahead and start it up. He wants to learn his fate, basically. So and I agree. The man's been sitting for a very long time, you know. And of course, the man we're talking about Diddy. And again, if I wasn't clear about it, it's a split verdict. You know, he was found not guilty of the racketeering and sex trafficking charges. So no RICO charges, no sex trafficking, but he was found guilty of 2 counts of transportation with the intent for prostitution. So, and if you guys are not clear about that, go do your homework. We talked about this a couple of weeks back. It's called the Man's Act. It first was introduced in 1910, and it was an attempt to arrest and bring down the first Black heavyweight boxing champion of the world, Jack Johnson. It was called the Man's Act. And I think it was also called the white slave trade or something like that. It's crazy. How can the law have so many different names? But we're gonna talk about it. We're gonna get to it. We're gonna talk about Diddy. We're gonna break it down. Everybody else talked about it. Now it's our turn. And God willing, within at the end of this week, they'll have a sentence date for him. But we're going to go on to question number 1. All right, question number 1. Will Sean Combs' recent criminal suits and pending civil suits jeopardize both his legacy and his mogul status? Let's hear from the guys first. Bird, what do you say? Is this going to jeopardize Diddy's legacy and his mogul status?
I think no. Now that they dropped some of the charges, I mean, trafficking for prostitution, these guys in the industry are all doing that. So no. And his mogulship, whatever company that he sued and won, they owe him like $2 billion. He's straight.
Woo! Sounds like a good time on the horizons.
He's going to be the one. They're the ones that brought all of this up because they lost the lawsuit. So they started investigating, trying to get out of paying them. But pay up $2 billion.
Okay. Patsy, what do you say?
I'm not sure whether or not it will, and my perspective, I really don't give a who, you know? If he continues to be successful, so be it. If he doesn't, oh well. Wait, not I'm not quite sure if he's gonna change his bad behavior.
Okay. Timmy, what do you say? Will these pending civil suits as well as the criminal suit jeopardize his legacy and his mogul status?
Of course it will. He, if either way, because they didn't get him the way they wanted to get him, they'll get him in the purse, hit him in the pocket. So he's gonna end up having to pay, or they gonna do him like the chick did fucking the game. Took his house, owned his fucking company and all everything thing. So he's gonna lose a lot. He's gonna lose a lot. I heard that $1 billion gonna be cut down to freaking 600 million, which is he gonna be good either way, but he ain't gonna be at no 2 billion because he got a lot of legal fees to pay off.
Okay. We shall see. We shall see. Tanya, what do you say?
Um, I'm gonna say it's 50-50. I don't think that he has learned a lesson because I think Diddy is an arrogant person. And I think the way that society is moving at the moment, they are rewarding bad behavior. And there's a rise of misogyny in this country. So I think on one hand, those who are okay with, how can I say this? He made some good music and he worked hard for the catalog that he's had, and his misfortune is the choices that he's chosen to make. So if he hasn't learned a lesson, if he hasn't found God and repent, then I'm going to say that there's a possibility that he could lose, that it could affect his brand. But if he comes out and he does something different and shows that he's working to become a different person, it could possibly not be such a bad of a hit.
Okay.
R. Kelly.
Sean, let's get your perspective. Does Sean Combs lose his legacy and his mogul status due to his pending cases as well as the verdict of his criminal case?
I like Tanya's answer. If I was going to answer it on the spiritual side of things, but to talk as someone like keeping it in the natural, I don't think so, because number one, what he was being accused of and everything like that are things that people in that world already knew. So because they already knew these things about him, it never affected his status or where he stood in society with them. And now that he's actually acquitted, or I guess that's the right word I want to use, acquitted of certain charges or whatever the case may be, what they went after him with, none of those things stuck. I don't think anything changes from that. He may not go right into it right away, but I think he's still going to conduct business as usual, because that's a pattern in a formula that has worked for him getting into this situation.
Mm.
Mhm.
Okay. Gregory, what do you say?
Um, I like what the panel says so far, and I'm gonna just say not so much his legacy he's gonna tarnish, it's his image mostly, which could impact his legacy. It all depends on how he's gonna turn it around. Because right now he might have made a whole bunch of great music. He's gonna forever be known as the guy with the baby oil freakos. They got a whole watermelon challenge out right now where they're pouring baby oil all over the watermelon, throwing it up in the air and seeing who could catch it. And they're calling it Diddy activities. It's craziness. So if he can come out of jail and somehow counteract on the bad publicity that he got right now, and probably like put out a bad boy baby oil or something, he's killing him. His legacy's right there. He's not gonna be tarnished.
Okay.
Burton has left the meeting.
So stay right there, Gregory. I'm going to hit you
He'll
with.
be like fucking Bill Cosby, come out, sit your ass down, don't say a word. He better, that's what he
But
better do.
Bill's Cosby's legacy is tarnished. They took all his
And,
shows off
and his
TV. Look,
is,
well, they just put him
yo,
back on.
his is Thomas too.
Can I piggyback off of what Gregory just said?
Yes.
I liked what he said because Gregory said he said it without saying it that if Diddy can come out, because actually if you look at how society is now, people actually can build their brand greater or build their brand and by you all help me with this word, by monetizing their and controlling their narrative that's already put out there.
Mhm.
Exactly. So if he came
I
out
hope
with a baby oil, he's in competition with Johnson and Johnson. He might put them out of business for their baby oil.
I said that word
That is the
right. Nobody
Yeah,
baby
corrected
oil
me.
that he used. Johnson and Johnson.
Gregory, I'm gonna pause you there because you and Sean basically started answering question number 2, but I'm gonna ask you to listen to the question and then answer this question still. So question number 2. According to research, experts express skepticism as it relates to Sean Combs' future in the music business. They claim that although he may still be able to produce music, his public admiration may be irretrievable. Ooh, that's a mouthful. What do you say?
Um, I think his music career is definitely done unless he's going under an alias or something. He can definitely produce some songs, but he probably doesn't want his name to be publicized.
Okay. Sean, what do you say? Sean?
Sorry about that. I I believe that people may it's going to be one of those things. I don't think he's going to miss a beat for too long. What's going to end up happening is um, he's going to get himself back out there and be looking to see who wants to work with him. And what might end up happening is it might be a pause on whoever that first person that might make a step. But once that happens, they'll flock back because at the end of the day, the dude's he's brilliant at what he does.
Mm-hmm.
And your issues ain't my issues.
Mm-hmm.
And if I can see that you're again that word monetizing off of your misstep, sure, why wouldn't I jump on that train?
Burton has joined the meeting.
Okay. Uh, Patsy, I'm gonna ask you the question again. According to research, music experts express skepticism as it relates to Sean Combs' future in the music industry. They claim that although he still may be able to produce music, he may not be able to get back the admiration that the public once had for him? What do you say?
Probably not. Um, it's just depending on how quickly people forget.
Okay.
Yeah.
Tim, what do you say?
I the people, the big name people probably ain't gonna mess with him because his reputation follows their business. You dig? So there's gonna be somebody out there that's gonna take a risk on him on account, like Sean said, he can draw people to whatever he's doing. But I don't see no big corporation really jumping behind him unless he and way in the back, you know, where he been collecting money. He ain't up in the front making a bunch of noise, so that's the way I think that things might go. Who knows? It
What
could
does
it
he
could
do
go
right now,
good,
Tim?
or it could go bad for him. But
He don't do nothing. His music side is dead. What does he do music wise? Who's he producing? Who's working with Bad Boy?
you got to go after the young cats that's out here doing music.
But he ain't been doing music really in a long time.
So
Like
Bird,
long time.
let me bring you right into this and ask you the same question that I asked Timmy. According to music experts, they express skepticism, whereas Sean Combs' future in the music business is concerned. They believe that he can still make music, produce hits, but it's probably going to be a hardship as it relates to getting back that public admiration. What do you say?
I agree. I don't think he's gonna sell out no show doing some old school, but he's not current in the music business. Nothing he's doing is current. He's making royalties off of old bad deals he did people dirty with. I don't think, no one's really going to support him musically, but he's got his own record label. He can produce, I mean, he can put out his own people if he wants, or remaster, or sell some of his catalog of music that he owns from other artists. But his music career has been dead for over 10 years. It's
Hmm.
just his face and his name and his old popularity that's carrying him. But again, I don't think he's relevant in the music industry at all.
It's
Ty,
I
it's
mean,
just like all them that be when they feel their popularity is going down, they get on social media and put some type of viral moment on social media so they can be irrelevant and then try to build off of that social media viral moment.
Tanya, what do you say? According to music experts, they express skepticism, whereas Sean Combs' future in music is concerned. They believe that although he may still be able to produce music, he's going to have a hard time regaining that public admiration. What do you say?
Um, I'm gonna have to agree with some of what Bird said, and I think that this country is is lacking in morality these days. Um, they are not holding people accountable, so it really depends on what his sentencing is gonna be that determines how injured he is or how injured he may not be. But I think because of the basis of what he was charged with, not what he was charged with, but what they saw and how people testified, how he treated them, and how abusive he was to them. That might not have been enough to convict him of the RICO charges and the trafficking, but there's a lack of morality with him. And so I don't think that there was much recovering for him.
I agree. I agree.
And based on morality.
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna answer the question. So, yep, the music experts express some skepticism, as they should, but I don't think there's a question as to if he's going to have a future in the music industry, because the music industry is constantly evolving. And one thing Sean Diddy Combs is good at is reinventing himself. And this
He's double love.
the world that the world that we love, the world that we live in, they operate on that "what have you done for me lately" system. So all Diddy has to do is produce a hit, or
No.
let me finish, Timmy.
Go ahead,
Grease enough palms, and he's right back in there. Because y'all gotta remember too, the name of his label is Bad Boy. And America right now is in love with a bad boy. Look at all what's happening for these internet rappers and stuff like that, internet sensations and stuff like this. All these rappers coming out of Chicago and other places, they all are making it based upon their bad boy persona. So Diddy is the bad boy of bad boys, and he has like a partial win against the feds. So that makes him more of a household name. He's the conversation piece right now. Everybody's talking about him. Even if you're not talking about him, somebody around you is discussing this case and his future. I'm gonna tell you something. There's a lot of people that are not gonna go on record and say this, but they're rooting for Sean Combs simply because, not because they want to see a bad boy elevated, because he's a black man that has accumulated a lot of wealth. He's a self-made billionaire, so they say, and they want to see him win, because too often black men are taken down based
he
upon.
picked a fight with people that he shouldn't have been picking a fight with.
Let me finish. Too often, black men are taken down by things that they're not really guilty of. They just use other sources. They weaponize these sources to bring about their downfall. Now, Timmy, you have something to add?
Yeah, he got beside himself, so they had to spank him. That's what happened. You seen it, Bill Cosby. Now, why can't he be like goddamn Ice Cube or somebody like Denzel Washington or Samuel L. Jackson? You don't hear no scandal and stuff going on because they don't want they don't want to give no ammunition for these people to try to take me down. You know, look at Ice Cube. He fought against the NBA to have his 3-man tournament because he was calling NBA players to come and play in his league. You know, so if he had any type of dirt on him, you goddamn well they would have used it against him. But because his nose was clean, he was able to fight him and get his damn 3-man team league going on. But then as that go on, he had other issues. Now the CBS who was covering the league want to try to, you know, go pick a fight with him and go against him and whatnot. You know, so what you do is don't give them ammunition to use against you later on down the line. That's what fucking Prince made his mistake. Michael Jackson made his mistake. R. Kelly, and now this fool.
Wait a minute, Prince. Don't say Prince. Prince didn't make no mistakes.
Yes, he
Prince is
did. When
calling out the
he
music industry.
boycotted against Warner Brothers,
Yeah.
he made a big mistake.
All right, so guys,
But
I don't want to get off topic. So let's bring it back to what we're talking about. We're talking about Diddy, and let's unless it relates to him, let's not bring these other people into the fray. All right, we're gonna go to question number 3. Bird, turn on your mic. Question number 3. Would it surprise you to learn that the music industry has a divided response as it relates to Sean Combs and his sexual assault verdict? What do you say, Bird?
Say about what happened? I was trying to process.
The music,
Say it
the,
again.
the music in excuse me, the music industry has a divided response as it relates to Sean Combs' sexual assault case verdict. What do you
Yeah.
say?
Yes, it is split because some of them been to them freak offs doing some really freaky shit. So the ones that were involved ain't really trying to step up and say nothing good or bad. They're trying to stay out of it. Hopefully that their
mm-hmm,
names don't come up. But
mm-hmm,
yeah, there's a split decision. Some people are okay with what he was been doing. But again, here we go. He's been doing this for 20 years. This ain't new. R. Kelly,
Mhm.
20 years. I'm sorry I'm going off track, but they knew these artists is what they've been doing for
right, right,
decades. This ain't new. He just ruffled the wrong feathers and
right.
now they pulled up his dirt. Like Timmy
Mm-hmm,
said, if you would have shut your mouth and did what you got to do, but that lawsuit killed him. That lawsuit, they brought him down. They didn't want to come up with all that money they owed Diddy for promoting Ciroc and all of this other stuff he was doing for them. He sued him and he won. And they hated that. And that's when all of this scandalous stuff started coming out. But this is not new. This was
right.
20 years ago, back when Biggie, they had a transvestite in one of the videos, I think it was Juicy or one of them videos.
Yeah,
He was
yeah.
in 2 of the videos.
Exactly. So they've been freaking off for 20, 25 years.
3
This
of them
is
actually, 1 and 2. He was in 2 of Biggie's videos and 1 with LL Cool J.
yes, so this is not new. I don't know why everybody's so, oh my God, he's been doing this. Shut up. You've been knowing this for a long time.
Right, right,
Okay.
Sorry. I'm on board with whatever they want to do, like Patsy said. I don't care. His life don't affect me one way.
right,
Mhm.
right.
Like it, like it. Gregory, let's get your opinion. What do you say?
Can I get the question again in full?
So would it surprise you that the music industry is divided as it relates to the basically the court verdict?
No, because like Bird said, a lot of the people from the music industry are probably on those videos and have some type of embarrassment that they would have to deal with anyways. Because remember, they played these videos in the courthouse. We didn't see it as the public, but I'm pretty sure people are split on that anyways and don't want to associate this because like B said again, look at Jay-Z right now. He got this boy out there trying to say that he's his father, but he don't want to claim the boy because he was messing with the mother when she was underage.
Okay.
Yep. Well,
Uh,
I'm saying, Carmelo, basketball players, Carmelo got a 13 or 15-year-old go pregnant. Nobody said nothing about that back then.
hmm.
That's crazy.
Patsy.
Yes. Alvin's marrying fucking what's his name?
13-year-old
Priscilla.
girl. Jerry Lee
Yeah,
Lewis married a 13-year-old, his cousin or
yeah.
something.
So they and Woody Allen marrying his fucking damn adopted daughter.
Yeah.
All right. So it's clear as
Woody Allen.
it clears. It's clear to me. Whereas Timmy, Gregory, and Bird is concerned, the industry is split with their response. Patty, let's get your opinion. Does it surprise you that there is a divided response amongst the industry?
No, it doesn't surprise me. Like everybody was saying, like there's so many other people that doing the same thing Diddy doing. So they're like, whatever, you know? Some people are upset, some people like, I don't give a flying fuck, you know? It's like whatever. Most people are doing it, this kind of stuff in the industry anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so their attitude is like, anywho.
Okay. Tanya, what's your views?
No, I'm not surprised. I have to agree with the panel.
Timmy, what's your views?
Frank Sinatra and Rock Hudson was doing the same shit.
Allegedly.
No, it ain't no legend they were.
Rock Hudson got it.
It's not unusual that a young chick comes to your show to see you and she dressed looking like she's dressing. Hey, you know, now that's just what it was, and it seemed like it's still going on today.
Okay. Sean, would it surprise you to learn that the music industry has a divided response as it relates to both Sean Combs and his sexual assault case verdict?
Not at all. Excuse me, because they march to the beat of their own drum. They live by they're a whole different entity all to themselves. So that's just how they move.
All right. You got more, Sean?
If there's a divide, it's because there's probably individuals that personally don't like him. Other than that, this is how they operate.
Okay. All right, I'm gonna hit you guys with question number 4. Tanya, I'm gonna go to you first because I think this is a question that you've been alluding to and that you've been waiting on. All right. Question number 4. According to research, the music industry has a history of questionable behavior such as misogyny, power dynamics, and a lack of accountability. Some members of the community, meaning the music industry, state that this is simply the nature of the beast. How do you feel about that, Tanya?
Oh, David, I how can I say this? I'm disgusted behind it. I mean, because it is the nature of the beast. Like, I just have to say that this country is ingrained with this type of behavior. I'm gonna have to even go to what Kiana always says about the ingrained in the DNA of some of the of not just the men but women too. Going back to slavery, just men not having any, looking at women as property, thinking of them less than. I mean, we even going back to that today, with some of the laws and things that's being put in place, and how some of the things is being cut that's affecting the women. So yeah, I'm disgusted by it, and there just needs to be accountability for it. There needs to be a change in the sea. We need to stop. We need to start wading in the water and start making waves for change.
You got more?
Oh, that's it.
All right. I'm going to go to Timmy. According to research, the music industry has a history of questionable behavior, such as misogyny, power dynamics, and a lack of accountability. Some members of said community claim that this is simply the nature of the beast. What do you say?
I can you seen it. You seen it 50s, 60s, 40s, 30s. They just never respected the voices of the black artists, right? But they didn't have issues with imitating and try to duplicate or one up the black artists that were popular. If you look through history, they always had a Caucasian artist that would where they would push past the top black R&B, black pop, whatever they were.
So just so we clear, now in this question, they're not asking do they respect the black artists? They're saying they have a history of men in the industry mistreating women, meaning female artists, any female in the
That's what I'm
agency.
saying. That's what I'm saying. Look
That
at
unfortunately
you
comes
you
with
you 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 had the rock band group like Mick Jagger, U2, uh, Ozzy Osbourne. You had all these, even Poison with Brad Michaels. All these rock and roll dudes were doing the same goddamn thing. They were doing the same thing,
part of the business,
but
like David said. That's how the
you
business
know,
works. That's the industry, the rock and
it
roll,
is. It
Metallica,
is how it
President,
works.
White Snake, all these rock
And
bands.
when so they probably knew that those chicks was young. Hey, they looking at it. Hey, they at the show. They feeling like that they grown and this a young chick. Yeah, yeah, they going for it. That like Bird said and Gregory said, that's the music business, and that comes with. But on the other hand, it's a Memorial Day. It's a immortal, and because all of them dudes, all them people who was doing that, they all got daughters, and I'm pretty sure none of them would want their daughters to be going through what they did to somebody else's daughter.
Mm-hmm. Patsy, what do you say?
I kind of got distracted with the question.
Don't worry, I'll repeat it again. According to research, the music industry has a history of questionable behavior, such as misogyny, power dynamics, and a lack of accountability. Some members of said community claim that this is simply the nature of the beast. What do you say?
Um, yeah, they have a lack of accountability and um to a good extent they it is true that it's part of the beast, but there are companies out there that's in the industry that have high standards and high morale. So therefore, they'll keep you up. Anyone that comes in the industry and starts off, they're at least trying to implement with those newer entertainers to come in with better morals and better persona of how to conduct themselves, you know?
Okay.
So it's not all the nature of the beast, but a good portion of it is.
Okay.
So
Brad,
yeah.
Brad, what do you say? They said that the music business has a history of this questionable behavior, and it's simply the nature of the beast.
I believe it is the nature of the beast, but Patsy did say some record labels make you sign a morality clause, like you can't go out there and be stupid, and so you could lose money based on that. If you're one of those artists that has a morality clause, then you're not going out there and doing dumb shit. But again, this has been going on in the music industry since the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s, 2000s. This is nothing new. This is what I'm trying to say. Everybody's in awe, like, oh my God, how did he do this? You can pull up dirt on all these powerful major groups, bands, rock and roll,
Hmm.
R&B. I mean, you go city to city. This is happening. It's been happening. They go on tour just to go and have fun and party with women. I'm not really like buying some of it, and I'm cool with I'm not cool with what they're doing, taking advantage of women, but that's just the way the music industry goes, just like the basketball circuit. These guys are going city to city, 100 women coming to the hotel. You stunting. They've been stunting for decades in sports. You know what I mean? Now sports, music, the whole celebrity status game this is part of the business. They treat women bad. The women go there to be treated bad. You know what I mean? They go there just with the intention they call groupies. They travel around with these bands and stun off with them. So I'm sorry. I'm not surprised this happened. I'm just surprised how it seems they're doing it to a majority of the black artists or black, you don't hear white artists getting taken down like this or going through problems like this. So nah, I'm not surprised, and this is to me over the years of what I've observed, this is normal behavior.
Okay.
They don't care. There's no morals and money with record companies. They only want money
Mm-hmm.
from them artists, so they don't care unless you got a morality clause.
Boy, I tell you, bro, you do it all the time. You do it all the time. But I'm gonna come back to you. Robert, welcome. Let's bring you right into the discussion. Um,
Bob Diddy.
what do you say? They say that the music business has a history of questionable behavior. They say it's simply the nature of the beast.
Um, I will agree with Patsy, and I'm going to say yes, it is the nature of the beast.
That's it.
That's it.
Gregory, what do you say?
Um, I'm gonna say it's definitely the nature of the beast, but who is the beast behind it? Because if you haven't noticed, at one point in time, our music was completely different before they even brought the misogyny in. People, well, I guess even back then, sometimes they were singing about their love life, but they wasn't being misogynistic in their music when you had the rock and roll. But then you had these people come in and they wanted to get their corporate prisons filled, so they had to change the dynamic of music. So now you got the pimping and hoeing aspect and you got the gangster aspect, and it's never really changed. It keeps evolving differently, and it's almost like the top people having a meeting and being like, hey, they're catching on to our Ponzi scheme. We got to change it a little bit to make sure that they don't know exactly what's going on. And this
Yeah,
music is really influencing
let's
the
make
world the way
eating
it is.
booty. Let's make girls eating booty good.
Exactly. Now they eating ass and shit. And now they girls with no problem saying, yeah, I like to eat ass. It's crazy. It's nuts.
I mean, women ask that's the the component, but men getting their ad, they making it cool for women
Even
to
that
eat
with
men's
that,
ass.
like I've
Eat a
never,
man's ass.
I've never heard a dude be cool with coming out in the until later on in life. Now, like a dude coming up, yeah, I get my ass ate. Like, and you think that's masculine? This doesn't
Nope.
make any sense, bro.
All right, guys. All right. Let's bring back Sean. Sean, uh, according to according to research,
Let's join the meeting.
the music industry has a history of questionable behavior, and they claim that it is simply the nature of the beast. What do you say?
It's definitely the nature of the beast. It was formed off of the music industry was formed off of um what's the word I'm trying to use? Exploiting its artists in any way possible.
Blackmail and blackball. I meant to say that too, Sean.
There you go. That's it. That's what I got. Is that the music industry was built off of exploiting its artists.
Okay, pause for a moment, right, guys? Because somebody just popped in. Who was that? Did someone pop out and pop back in, or was that someone new?
No, that was
Gina.
me. I said blackmailing.
No. Somebody
Gina.
just joined the
No,
meeting.
that was me. Hi.
What's up,
Hi,
Happy
Gina.
beloved?
birthday, Gina.
Gina,
Hi.
welcome home.
Exactly. All right, beloved, you came on the right night. Let's get you right into it. According to according to research, the music history has a history. The music industry has a history of questionable behavior. They claim that it is simply the nature of the beast. What do you say?
I think in some aspects, yes. But others, no. I don't think like everyone is a part of Illuminati. If that like I feel like when it comes to black people and they're making it, they're getting their name out there, they're like, oh yeah, they sold their soul, they're part of Illuminati, but I don't think that's the case in all cases.
Okay. Bird,
Yeah.
as I promised, because you, Gregory, and Sean, y'all basically
What?
it's like y'all elude to the next question.
Hey,
Sometimes
Dave,
y'all's
before you
answer.
go to the next question, I want to make a statement.
Okay.
I'm listening to everybody's comments about this question that you just gave. And what I'm hearing is the that we've gone from the fields, so the music, the sports, the movies, aspects of the entertainment is the new fields instead of the cotton fields.
Mm-hmm.
That's the new fields.
Okay, the new plantation.
That is what I
Yes.
said.
Okay. Well, hold tight.
I'll say this, Tanya, but it's always been that. Because I
Tap dancing
mean,
show,
there
yes.
you go. The chitlin
The
circuits,
minstrel
all
show.
that stuff, the men's, all that.
They give it a
Okay.
different name, but it's all the same game.
Yes,
Um,
ma'am.
let me say this.
Been
We're gonna
catching
go.
on to the Ponzi scheme. We gotta switch it.
We got to move on to the fifth question. Fifth question. Bert, you alluded to this. According to respective music experts, the music industry is a lawless environment that only values profit and popularity. What do you say, B?
I agree. I mean, I would say these companies are bailing these guys out of tough situations with some of the nonsense they're doing out here. I mean, money is power. That's just what it is, man. And, the slavery in cotton field, I don't think so because they ain't no real manual labor to make up and be a trendy person, trends sell. Who's gonna know what? It's the drill rap game right now. I'm listening to that more than anything now, and it's dope. It's a new wave in music, but soon that'll be gone too. We go through different phases in the music game. Whoever's popular gets the most views, and now on social media, you get the most views. That record company see nothing but dollar signs, and they'll bring you in. They'll pay you a lot of money. but they don't, because again, you got independent people that are making all their own money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't have distributors, they don't have managers, they don't have business companies, they don't have producers. They doing their own shit, making their own money. Big X the plug is beating them over the head right now, doing his own thing, cracking them open. So the hell with these people. I love to see independent rappers go out and do their music independently. Young M.A. cracked them when she came out, but she got influenced by the media, drinking, drugging, and you just went downhill. So again, and if they don't like you, they'll hook you on that drug somewhere, or they'll find a way for you to go downhill. These music industries and these music, big companies, they control a lot of people out here. They got a lot of
Hmm.
money that can do a lot of damage.
They
Money
throw
is
it in your
power at the
face.
end of the day.
Hmm.
Money is power.
All
Money's
right.
beating all of these cases for Diddy. His money status, trust me, there's money involved in this, big money. He didn't tell on nobody. You think some of these people ain't gonna come back and send some bread his way for keeping his mouth shut? Like big people out here, probably Trump too. But there's big
Okay.
people involved that gotta pay homage.
Let me reel you in before you get another individual started. We're gonna get to that, but not right now. Let me go to someone else. Gina, according to respective music experts, the music industry is a lawless environment that values both popularity and profit. What do you say?
I agree. Who was that Bird that was just talking?
Yeah.
I agree with Bird. I feel like they throw the music industry. The music industry is made to, especially the hip hop and R&B. I think it's made to destroy people at times with drugs and all different types of nonsense and craziness. I think it's yeah.
Okay. Robert, what do you say?
I was so nervous. I said Gina damn near almost stole my answer or set my answer. But I'm just gonna make it simple. The music industry, main problem is because the alcohol, the drugs, the sex, and the smoke and mirrors.
What's the smoke and mirror?
Meaning misleading information, manipulating
Yeah.
situations for the people involved to benefit more than the artist.
You sound like you was rapping just now.
Yeah,
Yeah.
for real. I wish you had that flow when you was inside the booth.
He went back to Robbie B.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Patsy, what do you say?
There's corruption all over the place. So, you know, yeah, they want to do a lot of bullshit and they get there and be corrupt. That's it.
Okay. Timmy, according to the music experts, the music industry, they basically they only care about profit and popularity. What do you say?
That may be true.
That
It
is true.
just may be true. But you as an individual artist and they plant things in front of us and we take those baits that they put in front of us,
Here's a gold
which
chain.
which be the drugs and other things, right? And so we end up biting on to that bait that they put in front of us, and then they got us. And so what we do a lot is we do things. Oh, Rolling Stones did this. They ain't never or Jimi Hendrix, he did this. We ain't, you know. So why again? Like I said in the last question, why give people ammunition to use against you down the line? What you do in life, somebody's always watching. Somebody's always uh willing to make a profit off of your bad doing. So if you don't give them anything to talk about or to ridicule you about, then they gonna find something else. Like they're mad that you ain't attending certain gigs that's supposed to be for everybody to come out and show off their skills, and you turn it down. Now they're talking about you. You know, so damn if you do, damn if you don't.
Huh?
In the music industry.
All right. Gregory, same question. According to music experts, the music industry is a lawless environment and they only care about profit and popularity.
So the truth is, not just the music industry, the entertainment industry all in one is like that, period. Because once these people started making the money, you had the bad people that we already know are in the country come in and they wanted to get their hands in the business. So they started doing stuff like extorting people and blackballing people and sending young underage girls in the party so they can get with the artist. And then they'll take pictures of this person later on and show them we got
Yep.
your picture. You get what I'm
Now
saying?
they're
So
drugging artists and taking pictures of dudes
not
running shows
Diddy,
on them.
Diddy. There's plenty of videos out of him with people knocked out at one of his parties, just and he's recording the person and everything. So imagine what happened to that man later on, especially from the stories that you be hearing from like his producers or his bodyguard. You get what I'm saying? So it's corrupt, definitely, and especially with the sexuality thing, because a lot of females want to become stars and stuff, and then they might end up losing their light when they try to get into this industry because these people that are at the top are really dark.
Like that, like that. Sean, what do you say?
Can you repeat the question, please?
According to music experts, the music industry is a lawless environment. They only care about both profit and popularity.
What else are they supposed to care about?
If
Money, that's it. It's all money. They see
it
a good
don't make
artist,
dollars, if
that's
it
what they
don't make
hear.
dollars, it don't make sense.
And that's
And
it.
I was
That's
gonna
what's
say
relevant.
it used to be about the talent, but now it's really like we're just gonna put out a whole bunch of senseless stuff because we don't really want these people to stand up and cause a revolution again or create another group like the Black Panthers or something. You get what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
it
All
all
right,
has to be dumbed down for society.
Tanya, you've
Cash,
been waiting
cash
patiently.
rules everything around me. Clean, get the money, dollar bills.
Tanya, you've been
So
waiting patiently.
I'm gonna have to agree with a lot of what the panel said. I want to piggyback off of what Gregory was just talking about dumbing down the society. If you look at the entertainment industry, he said it as a whole. I'm gonna focus on the music aspect of it. Like music has been a part of every type of generational movement. Like when it came to like civil rights, we had artists that talked about um, being together, love, and all of that, and that caused the civil rights movement for us to come together and try to bridge forward. But then you go into the 70s where you get the P funk and it comes with the drugs and you see the communities being ravaged by the drugs and crime and stuff rising. Then you go into the 80s with the disco and the 90s with the hip hop and the and you see that it starts getting more militant and more controversial where it starts about the gang banging and cop killing and so the music that they allowed to be put out was to help to degrade us as a society, to keep us down where we don't come together, where it's easy. It's been primed up to now where it's easy for what's coming up into the society now, where there's no morality, there's no humanity. It's easy for people to be manipulated. It's a lot of anger, a lot of distrust, a lot of separation. So the music had a lot to do with the entertainment industry, had a lot to do with the powers that be are using them as like little puppets. They like look what you call those that puppets pulling the
Puppet
strings.
master.
Yeah, they're the
Puppet
puppet
master.
Marionettes.
Timmy. Thank you, Timmy. Yeah, they're the puppet masters. So yes, it's all about money, but it's also about dumbing us down where where people are easily manipulated. Because if you look at some of these female rappers that's coming out, then they're rapping, all they're rapping about is sex and giving head and shaking their ass.
Eating booty.
And eating ass.
And that's what and that is denigrating them in the eyes. You know, that's they putting out there that they ain't worth nothing. So in turn, they're being treated like they're not worth anything.
Mm-hmm. All right, stay right there, Tanya. I'm gonna hit you with number 6. You've been waiting for this question. What type of message does this verdict, the sexual assault case verdict, convey to the victims, and will it deter future victims from coming forth?
I think that it will deter future victims from coming forth because they absolutely didn't take into account. Well, I'm gonna say this: the instructions for the jury was a lot for them to try to comprehend. They didn't make it simplified enough for them to really put 2 and 2 together. The things that he was acquitted of doesn't necessarily mean that he didn't do it. It just means that the prosecutors didn't weave enough of a story to connect the dots.
Okay.
They didn't paint a clearer picture for them to see how that the power dynamic came into effect into these actions of why this woman was afraid and why they looked at it as if she was a willing participant. And for the most part, she probably was a willing participant, but they didn't take into account the power dynamics.
Okay. Not 1, but 2. Patsy, what do you say? What type of message does this sexual assault verdict convey to the victims and future victims, and any thoughts of coming forth?
If it's gonna get thrown out, why should I tell my story and tell what happened between me and this person that sexually assaulted me? This is exactly why any rape victim has an issue about coming out and coming forth with this story, because first of all, it's already judgment like it's the woman's fault. What did you do for them to assault you? Like, you should have said no in the first place. And a lot of men out here, especially when they're on a power trip over women and they disregard a woman's right to say no. This is pretty much a lot of the reasoning behind women coming out as rape victims. Never mind a guy who actually gets raped, they're like, oh, people gonna think I'm gay, like something's wrong with me or something. It's you're making a victim feel more victimized by dismissing the case and dismissing what the person has said about the assault.
No, it's the court's responsibility to prove it. They failed is the problem. You can
Yeah,
blame
but even
he
at
got
that,
away
it's
with it
like
because they
looking at
couldn't
it.
prove it.
It's yeah, he's guilty in doing it. Um, and some of the women, it's like, it might sound twisted up some how it comes out with this story, but still, it's like this is some of the reasoning why, even if it wasn't fully prosecuted right or anything or proven right, it still will deter further more women from even coming out on testifying or even going to the police about the situation about being attacked and everything, you know?
Mhm. Guys, hold your perspective. I'm gonna get through the ladies on the panel, and then I'm gonna come straight to you. Gina, what's your perspective? What type of message does this sexual assault verdict convey to victims and their uh, thoughts of coming forth?
So we're talking about the Diddy case?
Yes, we are.
Yes.
Okay, I'm sorry. I haven't really been following the Diddy case like that. But I will say if Diddy gets off or he, there's anything that's saying that, oh, he might not have done what he did, then women will most likely not come forward because he is of a higher power, not like spiritual, but like he's in the industry as a demon and Satan himself probably. So like, yeah, the women will not come forward, especially if it's going to put themselves or their families in harm's way.
Okay,
So
guys, hold tight. We at the halfway point. I gotta pay these bills. This episode of the Still a Man podcast is sponsored by EmporiumPlus.org. EmporiumPlus.org is your one-stop shop. It is an online store. If you can't find what you're looking for in this online store, then you are not shopping in the right store. Robbie, tell the people what type of brands they can find at EmporiumPlus.org.
You can find fashions in all brands. Still a Man, S.A.M, Adapter Paris Ladies First, SOS Support Our Sisters, and Envy Forever. You can also find merch in EmporiumPlus.org. People, if you're watching our YouTube channel, we appreciate all the views we get. Hit the like button. And those that haven't subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button. It helps us. It shows that you appreciate us as well as we appreciate you.
Robin, stay right there. I'm gonna hit you, and then I'm gonna go right to Bert. What type of message does Sean Combs' verdict in his sexual assault case send to future victims and their thoughts of coming forth?
Um, it might not be liked what I'm gonna say. Ain't too much, but I'm just gonna say to all the women, if you ever get raped or been raped, please find the courage to come out and say something a little bit earlier. Have some receipts, and do not be conversing back and forth, engaging in like if you like it and you're looking for more.
All right, and he's referring to in the textation, a text conversation where people be leaving footprints, and then they can be used against them in court. Bird, how you feel about this? What type of message does this sexual assault verdict convey to women everywhere in their thoughts of coming forth if they was victims?
I think it definitely changed the dynamic of women coming out against the celebrity giant like he was, but I think it shouldn't deter the women that are having the courage to report it on, on a no, I hate to say normal scale, but a more civilian scale, such as us, opposed to a media or a music mogul like this dude. It will definitely change the thought process. Why come forward? They're not going to believe me, or the shame, or whatever the case is. But, no is no. No matter if it's in the middle of an act, they could say no. You better get up.
Like it, like it. G Money, what you say?
I think this whole case. Well, I'm still trying to understand the aspect of what did he go down for? Transporting and
Prostitution.
prostitution. These are two things that
Yes.
are included in sex trafficking. So I just feel like he has a powerful team behind him, which would make anybody scared because the witnesses are saying they didn't want him to get bail because they're scared for their lives. So you got a real powerful team behind Diddy right now. Cause even those charges sound the exact same as sex trafficking, but he didn't get hit with sex trafficking. But he was prostituting and transporting.
He was buying prostitutes, mainly men.
Mm,
Yeah, and he was buying those prostitutes with the intent to have a sexual act that he was gonna pay for.
okay.
That's sex trafficking. He's flying, and he was flying them across border state borderlines.
But they didn't charge him with that, but who's to say they can't? It's not a double jeopardy. They never charged him with sex trafficking. They could pull something out the back of their behind and bring up other charges.
Okay.
Dave, could I say this before you move to the next person? I just want to share y'all with this. A wise woman said in 2025, back to you, Bird, no means no. She said, in our time today, 2025, yes means no.
Mm, okay.
Um,
Sean?
It can't though.
wait,
Yes
let me
can't mean
let me
no. It's
just
impossible.
That is very confusing.
let me
That's
just add this
impossible.
because
That means you're going
Gregory
to jail.
Gregory said something about the charges being part of the sex trafficking. Force is part of it as well, and they just didn't believe her, and that's why I say they didn't take the power dynamic into consideration because the videotape shows, and that's why they put it into evidence that she was running away from being involved in freak off, and he dragged her back into the freak off.
And Tanya also, that's what he got convicted on for what he did to Cassie because they asked to see that again and the Jane Doe. So he got the two things on the prostitute and Cassie and Jane Doe.
No. Let's guys, let me say this for sake of argument. Somebody give me a time check real quick.
8:46.
All right, we're running short on time. We got about
Go to Sean. I apologize.
we got about 30 minutes and we got about 4 or 5 more questions. So let's get these, let's be brief but be brilliant. Let's get the mini skirt versions of this and any rebuttals. Let's wait until people answer the questions. Sean, you need the question again, or you good?
Please.
All right. Hold on 1 second. Gotta get back to it. Question number 6. What type of message does this verdict convey to the victims and their thoughts of coming forth?
I think what it does is, and this is not going to be popular, I think, amongst the ladies, is that when something happens to you, the way that the law works, there is a statute of limitation on things.
Bill Cosby got accused 30 years ago. I didn't
Say
think there
what?
was. I don't know on certain crimes, yes, but Bill Cosby got charged with some crazy shit 30 years ago. How do you prove someone drugged you?
Right. He got charged with some. He got charged with something 30 years ago, but that's not what he went down for. He went down for something more recent.
Mhm.
It was bullshit any damn way
But
because they
Hold
wasn't
on,
um
hold
supposed
on,
to
Timmy.
charge him.
Hold on,
and
Timmy. Let
so
Sean finish. Go
and
ahead.
so with that being said, it is up to, when you do come out, it is up to your attorney or your legal team to have that kind of knowledge to share that with you and be able to go to war with that, so that it doesn't seem like you did all this for naught.
Timmy, I'm gonna give you a chance to answer this question too. What type of message does it send to the victims everywhere? The verdict.
For me, I think the man is a piece of shit. Period. Boy, like that's what he is. You know, cause he know goddamn well he wouldn't want nobody to do that to his fucking daughter.
He
His
might have done
daughter.
it to his own daughter.
His daughter. You know, so for me, cause you make women that go through these things because just like the R. Kelly, but you know, y'all make these women think y'all gonna do something for them to Stevie J, you know, and then y'all start hanging something over their head, you know, especially their career because you got the connections and all that. So you force them into doing things that they wouldn't normally do in their right mind. But because they want something so bad, they say, what would you do to get a music business, to get into the music business, to make just a record? What would the lengths you would go through? So on that there, that means that a woman or a man would go through great lengths to get wherever he needs to go. You know, it's messed up that they would do that to people who come from nothing. Because that's who they doing it to, the people that come from nothing.
Okay, Timmy, stay right there, guys. We're gonna speed this up a bit, 1 minute or less for these answers. We're gonna this the speed mode, speed round. All right. Question number 7. Did Sean Combs' defense team outwit the prosecutors, or did the prosecution's claims of both racketeering and sex trafficking lack substance? 1 minute or less, Timmy.
There's loopholes in the law. And his team read and understood the loopholes. And that's why those racketeering charges was dropped.
Okay. Bert, what do you say?
I say the prosecution failed. They weren't outsmarted. They didn't get what they were looking for. They didn't get the jury to believe them. So they failed in true fact and true form. But also, if you watch this movie Sleepers, prosecutions lose on purpose. Who knows how this game got played out? Who knows if these guys got paid to lose this case, or who knows any of that? That movie Sleepers will change your life. Watch it if you haven't.
Bro, you
But
gotta get
yeah,
out my head. I'm telling you, you and Gregory, y'all be reading the questions before I even ask the
it's
next.
real. They probably got paid to lose this case. Who knows?
Hey,
Who knows?
hold
That's all I
tight,
can
Hey,
hold,
say.
hold
Nobody
tight,
knows.
hold tight. Robert, same question.
That's how OJ got off.
Timmy, Robert, same question.
Um, what was the question? Sorry.
Did Sean Combs' defense team outwit the prosecutors, or did their claims of racketeering and sex trafficking lack substance?
The prosecution, they messed up their own damn case. You know what their problem is? Their biggest problem was they was too reachy. They was reaching, and they was putting too much in there to see what could stick, and wound up with really nothing sticking but two of the less charges. Where this man's taking a chance to, and we'll carry on later.
Okay, hold tight. Gigi, what do you say? You want to answer this question or you want to pass?
I'm gonna pass.
All right. Patsy, what do you say?
What's the question again? I'm sorry.
No worries, no worries. Question number 7. Did Sean Combs' defense team outwit the prosecutors, or did their claims of both racketeering and sex trafficking lack substance?
I think they might have been lacking of evidence and lacking persecution, just lacking everything, you know? Yeah.
I think come back with something else.
Hold on, B. Hold on. I'm gonna come back to you because I know you're waiting for this next question. Tanya, let's get it.
I'm gonna say that his defense team focused more. They drilled into the jury that it was domestic violence, domestic violence, domestic violence. They told a better story about domestic violence. The prosecutors, they didn't connect with the jury because they was too much on what the law said, what the law said, what the law said, and they didn't connect the dots. With, like I said, with the power dynamic.
Okay. Gregory, what you say?
I think this case was really smoke and mirrors and them beating on somebody that's really a part of that big club that the normal society's not a part of. For the simple fact that the case was more based on domestic violence, like Tanya said, and they were so focused on the Cassie situation, but they never talked about the underground tunnels found under his house that was in the beginning of the report, the drugs. I don't even think he got charged with any type of drug trafficking, but the witness came on the stand and clearly said, I got drugs for Sean multiple times so he can have his freak offs, all types of drugs. So it's just weird to me to watch that and then still have a charge dismissed that he's basically being charged for anyways, but they broke it down into two different things.
We're gonna get to that. We're gonna get to that. Thank you, thank you. Sean, same question. Did Sean Combs' defense team outwit the prosecutors, or did their claims of both sex trafficking and racketeering lack substance?
I will say um, yes to both questions. The prosecutors, they, based off of what I read and what I heard, what I read and what I heard, is that if you look at how a lot of these so-called high-profile cases have been,
Mm-hmm.
they're all trying to lump racketeering in everything.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so the defense team knew this. They knew what Diddy Combs actually did, what he was going to be judged by the public. And because that wasn't one of the charges, like Tanya said, that's what they focused on. They came out and said their guy was a bad dude. What he did was wrong, and this, that, and the other. But what he's being charged with, and under the guidelines of what he's been, doesn't add up. So yes to both questions.
Okay, everybody pause real quick. I don't need no rebuttal what I'm about to say. I'm gonna be brief, but I'm gonna be brilliant. According to the respective Judge Brown, Joe Brown, he states that both Cassie and Jane Doe were simply that they weren't credible witnesses. He said that the prosecutors overreached. They had no business putting the racketeer charge in that, nor the sex trafficking. This was about something other than that. And he said that Puffy already been tried for the domestic violence situation because they settled out of court, and that was that. But they tried to show a pattern of his behavior in hopes of swaying the jury. But this case was already tried due to public opinion before it even went to the courthouse. All right, let's go.
Hey, that drunken
Timmy, I
motherfucker
said I
ain't
didn't
got
want to
no
hear no rebuttal.
goddamn opinion
I said
on
I didn't want to
shit. He's
hear
an
no rebuttal.
alcoholic. He
There's
despondent.
no Judge
All right,
Joe
Bird.
Brown slander.
Question
Yeah,
number 8, Bird.
he's an alcoholic,
Question
Judge
number
Joe
8.
Brown. That drunken motherfucker.
Yeah. Question number 8. All right, B. You ready? This is the question you've been waiting for. Question number 8. According to legal expert Sean Combs' sexual assault case had very little to do with the pursuit of justice. This case was, the prosecutors was compelled to do so in hopes of gaining some type of notoriety. What do you say, B?
I don't think the prosecutors were trying to gain notoriety because they're not recognized now because they failed to do their job and prove this guy guilty. He's guilty, but they just went after the wrong point blank. He's guilty of a lot of that stuff, but they went after the wrong things. That's why I'm saying I believe they're going to come back out with something else. But it's not going to be double jeopardy because they're not going to charge him and try to charge him with the same thing he just beat them. They can't. So they're going to come up with something else, but I don't think it's over.
Okay. Gregory, you like conspiracies. What do you say?
Well, let me get the question again.
According to legal experts, Sean Combs' sexual assault case had very little to do with the pursuit of justice.
Exactly. It had very so much to do with his lawsuits with the liquor companies and them telling him to pipe down because he was trying to own something like they said earlier, a NBC or Sony or something that they would really want to smoke you for.
Okay. Robert, what do you say?
Go back to what he was saying, notoriety. If those attorneys had won their case, proving him to be, guilty and got him convicted, they probably would have moved up in rankings, got a big reward, settlement, payoff. Their names would have been ringing courtrooms. So you can't say they wasn't looking for that. You go to work to become a champion. You're not going to work to lose. You're going to work to win. Everyone wants to win.
I like that. Gigi, what you say?
I haven't followed the case, so I'm just listening. Go ahead. Proceed without me.
Patsy, what you say? Patsy?
Yeah. I'm sorry, what was the question?
You can pass if you don't want to answer. Question number 8. According to legal expert Sean Combs' sexual assault case had very little to do with the pursuit of justice. They claim that the prosecutors was compelled to do so in hopes of gaining some level of notoriety.
I think it's half and half. Part of it is the notoriety. Part of it is they really didn't want the justice, but they had to go after the justice part just to get the point across, but failed to actually get any real proof of everything. And yeah.
Okay. What you say, T?
I say that they put their lackeys up for they didn't put their best. The prosecutors didn't put their best on the case.
Okay. Timmy,
That's basically what it boils down to.
Timmy, what you say?
What I say what?
According,
What was the question?
all right. Question number 8. According to legal experts, Sean Combs' sexual assault case had very little to do with the pursuit of justice. They claim that the prosecutors trialed said case just so they can get a level of notoriety.
Yeah, I agree along with Tanya and Bird. You know, it's almost like the OJ case, but OJ didn't do no time. He gonna do time.
Okay. Sean, what you say?
Sorry, according to the prosecution.
According to experts, Sean
Mhm.
Combs' sexual assault case had very little to do with the pursuit of justice. They claimed that the prosecution trialed said case in hopes of gaining a level of notoriety.
Interesting. Um, the first part I can agree with. I don't know too much about the last part because I don't know anything about the prosecuting team and what their overall goal personally was. But yeah, that whole overreaching was just the icing on the cake for them.
Hmm?
They tried it and they failed.
I'm gonna do something different with number 9. I just want to know if you agree or disagree with this question. Sean, I'm gonna stay with you. According to Diddy's detractors, they believe that it is simply unbelievable that this man was acquitted of any charges. They believe that he should have been convicted of all charges. What do you say, Sean? You agree or disagree?
I disagree.
You know what? I'm gonna go against what I said. 60 seconds or less. Why do you disagree?
I disagree because based off of what he was being charged with and what they was actually presenting to the jury and to the public did not go hand in hand.
It ain't what you know, it's what you can prove
That's right.
in the eyes of the law.
B, is that your answer? Do you want to elaborate?
That's gonna be my answer. It ain't what you know, it's what you can prove. If you can't prove it, which they didn't, anyone's gonna get acquitted. Anyone's gonna beat a case. It's up to the prosecutors to prove their case, and they did not. They failed.
Okay. G, what you say?
I'm sorry, what was the question?
Gigi, I was asking Gregory, but since you
Oh, okay.
answered,
Sorry.
nope. Since I
No,
got
no, no. I'm
you,
listening. I'm listening. Go
all
ahead.
right.
Go ahead. I'm
G
listening. Go ahead.
Money. What's
Uh, um, I agree with Bird and Sean, and once again, this case is more like, to be honest with you, I'm starting to think that the witnesses thrown in the case was all to throw stuff off too. It was like, yeah, we're gonna lock you up, but we're not gonna charge you with the things that we're saying we're gonna charge you with anyways, because they never really try to prove anything outside of the domestic violence, knowing that Cassie already settled out of court. You get what I'm saying? So it's
Right.
like a smoke and mirrors case.
Good stuff, G. Mm-hmm.
Rob, what you say? Robert? Tanya, you got the
Sorry,
floor.
I'm going to agree with Sean Bird and Gregory. I thought my mute was off.
Tanya, you got the floor.
I'm gonna partially agree with the panel. I'm gonna add this to it that office is known to, when they bring cases, is to have the evidence. That's why I say They don't come unless they're gonna go for a win. That's why I said that they didn't put whoever was the overseer of that case didn't put the right people in charge of the right things to bring across what they had. You know how they have to put the story together, put all the pieces together.
Yep.
They didn't put the right people in place to put those pieces together because they had it, they just didn't do it the way it needed to be done.
Well,
and they
there
didn't
won't
charge it the way it needed to be charged.
there
I
won't
like
be
that.
there won't be no screams of the dream team whereas they're concerned, that's for sure. Timmy, what you say? 60 seconds or less? Did you answer that?
Cassie was only there to testify as a character witness for the fucking prosecutor. That's all she was.
Okay, Tim,
Now,
hold on, Tim. Hold on. I'm sorry. Go ahead, continue.
now, far as uh everything else, I agree with the panel because all she was for them was to, you know, speak on his character, even though she signed the NDA and got a settlement. So
Stay right there, Timmy, because this is what I was about to hit you with. I was about to hit you with question number 10. I thought you was done. Question number 10. Is the judge's unwillingness to grant Sean Combs bail a desperate attempt to avoid any further, I repeat, any further humiliation? What do you say? 60 seconds or less?
I agree with the judge. It's on my discretion. Your dumb ass shouldn't have got to, and his stupid ass talked that into existence. He said his parties was going to get him into incarcerated. He said that out of his own mouth. So now that you in there on the count of your party, hey, you got what you deserve. Not exactly what you deserve, but you got what you had coming to you because you talked it into existence.
Okay. T, it's on you, Tanya.
Say that again now.
Is the judge's unwillingness an act to save face, basically?
It's unwillingness for what?
Unwillingness to grant Diddy bail a attempt to save face.
Save face from what?
Okay, to keep from being further humiliated.
How is whose humiliation? The judges?
Yes.
The justice system.
You got it, B.
Okay, thank you, the justice system. No, I think that he is pausing because Diddy was acquitted on the most heinous charges. I think the judge know that the prosecution had what they needed to have to convict him on it, but they didn't present their case correctly. So what he got charged with, he is weighing the pros and the cons on what to sentence him for. That's why he is doing the whole sentencing thing, and they want a speedy sentence. He said October. That gives some time to weigh to weigh the evidence on how he want to sentence him, but they want a speedy so they can get it in and out.
Yeah, right, Tanya.
Patsy, what do you say?
He probably wanted to extend it to October or September for the sentencing. So, maybe the prosecution can dig up some more dirt or really get their shit together, you know? But
Okay.
yeah, it's an embarrassment, not just to him overseeing the trial, but it's more of an embarrassment on the prosecution for not actually putting all their ducks in a row to get their job done.
Okay. Robbie, what do you say?
I'm just gonna say yes.
Okay. Gregory, what do you say?
I was under the impression that the judge denied bail because of witness intimidation,
Hmm.
and something happened with the jury too. That they was trying to say that he was trying to pay off a couple of jurors or something.
Wow.
So they definitely
Mm.
wasn't going to let him get bail to get out and try to organize something against the witnesses in the case.
I Sean, what do you say?
Yeah, I like what Gregory had to say. I was under that impression as well. And definitely he has a history of intimidating or getting to witness. I mean, that was one of the first things that they said when he first went in.
B, what do you say?
Say it again. I just came back from the bathroom.
No worries. Is the judge's unwillingness to grant Diddy a bail, is it an attempt to save face?
I I'm going to say possibly, but I feel like it's unconstitutional if he's not a threat to society. People can say, "Oh, I'm afraid something's going to happen to me," but that becomes intimidating a witness. That shit, if they really want to get him, then yeah, you let him out and see if something stupid happens, and then you got a whole new game.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's unconstitutional. He should be allowed bail if he hasn't been committed, or like if he's not a threat to the society or the community. Put him on house arrest.
Yep.
He ain't gonna do the one. He ain't gonna be the one to get his hands dirty anyway. Take his
Mm-hmm.
passport,
I think it was more
right?
of a flight risk.
Put him on house arrest and let him know if anything happens to any of these witnesses, you're gonna be held accountable.
B, don't
But
go nowhere. Stay right there. I'm gonna hit you with question number 11. We got one more after question 11. Question number 11. Did Sean Combs receive a fair trial? And will the proposed prison time fit the crime? Bird?
I'm not really sure what the proposed time is. But hey, time is warranted if you were guilty of something. How much is gonna be? Time being served, probation.
They said 10 to 20, B.
It could be a
No, no.
non-violent crime. He can beat some of that. He can parole early. He can something. He can house arrest, probate many years, 30 years of probation. You know what I mean? Who knows
Okay.
what they're gonna come up with?
Robbie, what do you say?
Well, this is gonna try to be real quick. They say the judge can give them anywhere from 0 to 10 on each one of those accounts, and they said because the judge's been so strict, everyone's anticipating this 20-year sentence. That's not gonna happen. They said that he's probably gonna slap them with 4 years each. They said because Puff done served almost close to a year when all this shit hits, the fan or be resolved. I'm gonna tell you he's going to get time served and he's going to get rewarded good time because he cleans the bathroom and all that kitchen work up in there. They talk about everything that they're going to add to time off. So when you thinking Puff sitting in jail for those 20 years, he's not going to get nowhere near that.
Okay. Uh, Sean, what do you say?
Yeah, I like what Robert said. He broke it down, but that's the same things that I heard. But yeah, I heard that he's actually looking when it's all said and done to somewhere almost just shy of 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I heard
Mm-hmm.
on the
That's what
low.
I heard too, big dog.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's what
G,
I heard, but it's up to the damn judge.
Yeah, they're trying to say he's facing 10 to 20, but in all actuality, the charges that they gave him, he's probably gonna have time served, like everybody else said. He's gonna end up getting that 1 year that he already is. I think he's been in there for almost 2 years now, right?
no,
Now,
No,
be a year
yeah,
come September.
Almost. I'm like, he's almost there. But he's probably gonna do two more, if anything. But I think he's gonna have a time served sentence. That's just how powerful he is right now.
Okay. Timmy, what do you say?
The judge determined that the stipulation on the sentencing. So where he don't give a shit if he did time already or if he did good behavior, did good things, and he don't give a shit about none of that.
Mm.
All he cares about is obtaining the law and punishing somebody who thinking they're above the law.
Okay.
That's the bottom line to it.
All right, guys, we gotta speed this up. This is the last question. I know Patsy and Tanya got to answer. Patsy, what you say? Did I ask you?
I'm sorry. What's the question again?
Don't worry about it, beloved. The question is, did Puffy receive a fair trial? And if so, will the proposed prison time fit the crime?
I'm not sure about a fair trial and the time fitting the crime, with all those dropped verdicts and dropped accusations. Um the time will fit the ones that stuck, but the ones that didn't, the timing unfortunately will not fit the rest of those crimes that he got accused of doing.
Okay. Tanya, what's your views?
My view is that each charge can carry 0 to 10 years, 0 months to 10 years. Okay. I'm thinking this is just they say that the judge is a fair judge and they got to take into consideration his good time and that he hasn't been put in jail before. But Puffy has a violent history, and there has been evidence of witness tampering while he was in jail. So I think that the judge is going to take all of that into consideration, and I think that he's going to give him between 8 to 10 years.
Okay.
Because of his history and the evidence that they have of the witness tampering and his violent acts that come across that has come to evidence in the court. So I think he's going to get some time. I don't think he's going to get a slap on the wrist. I think he's going to get some time.
Okay. Gigi, you still with us?
I'm here.
All right. I'm going to give you the option of answering this last question or picking the person that's going to answer the question last. And the question is, according to internet rumors, Donald Trump shall pardon P. Diddy either before the sentencing or shortly after. What do you want to do? Answer or pass?
I can pick the last person to answer.
Yes, you can.
Okay. I pick Gregory.
Okay, G. So that means you're closing the show. All right.
Thank you, Gina. I was thinking that.
So hold on, G. And Gigi, thank you for your participation. Let's hold on tight. Patsy, what do you say? Will Donald Trump pardon Puffy before or after his sentencing?
I think maybe before, but he might do it afterwards, just to hear the verdict, and then be like, "I know, you gotta get out of jail free card."
Okay. Timmy, what do you say?
Where I say to what?
According to internet rumors, Donald Trump will pardon Sean Combs before or after his sentencing.
he can't pardon him until he gets sentenced. So that is out of the question before he gets sentenced.
He could do a
Now
preemptive pardon.
he may pardon him after he gets sentenced, but he can't pardon before sentencing. No.
Okay. Thank you for your participation. Patrick, thank you for your participation. Excuse me, you guys can mute your mics. T, what's up? Will Donald Trump pardon Sean Combs before his sentencing or after?
I mean, he could give him a preemptive pardon, but I think that he's gonna wait to see what his sentence is, and I think that he's gonna see where the climate is with the people because his big beautiful bill or his big bullshit bill has got him underwater. So if he thinks it's gonna bring him up, he'll give him a pardon. If he thinks it's not gonna help him, he's gonna let him ride.
All right. Thank you for your participation. Robert, what do you say?
Tanya damn near answered it the way I was going to say, but I'm going to put it this way. If it's any indication of what the people have witnessed when Puff Daddy had walked out the courtroom to return home to his home that he's been for some months, he had a standing ovation. They welcome him in and applaud him, returning with a win. What a win from the courts. Donald Trump, if he likes prisoners and he likes to get them out of jail, he's seen that. And if he didn't, someone told him about it. They're applauding Pop, standing ovation. He came out. Hey, I like that. He might just do that, pardon Pop, after the fact. So I say yes to him helping him out if he wants to. On the other flip end, for all you women and men, stop running, lining up for butter and cheese, welfare, butter and cheese. You're chasing something free. And that's why you're in this predicament that you're in today.
Okay, thank you for your participation. Bird, let's get your views. Will Donald, let me give him his let me give him his just due. Let me respond or call him by his proper title. Will President Donald Trump pardon Sean Diddy Combs before or after said sentencing?
I mean, I think he's going to let it draw out before he does anything, but I think he's going to get him out because that's going to, some of the black community is going to feel vindicated, by the, losing to the law, and he may get that black vote. I mean, it's not just for Diddy. Trust me, this is for his own personal, whatever you want to call it. But yes, I believe Donald Trump will pardon Diddy if he's found guilty, or he's found guilty, or whatever the sentence is.
Well said, well said, well said. Sean, hit us with some of that birthday magic, some of that black man wisdom.
I think that Donald Trump, if he was to pardon Diddy, it would be with some rules and stipulations that Diddy is going to have to do either publicly or behind the scenes that speaks and promotes Donald Trump. Because if you all remember, Diddy has spoken out against some of Donald Trump's policies and what have you. And Trump has said, Diddy's a good guy. He used to like me. He used to like me a lot. Meaning when he says things like that, that's him keeping a receipt of the things that you may have said or did against some of my whatever. So there will be a discussion before he just ups and be like, hey, boom, you got it.
I agree. I agree. And happy birthday again.
Thank you, sir.
Yes,
Mr.
happy
G,
birthday.
Mr. G. Lacey, Minister of Conspiracy, take us home. Here's the question. Will President Donald Trump pardon Sean Diddy Combs before or after his sentencing?
I'm just gonna give the quote of exactly what Diddy said in the Breakfast Club interview. He said, "White men like Trump need to be banished from America." So when you got Trump saying stuff like, Diddy was once a good friend of mine, and then the relationship soured when I ran for politics. And then he said, I'm not considering pardoning him because of his legal charges. So it's kind of crazy to even assume that this man is about to let this man out of prison, knowing that most entertainers are on a Democratic note and they promote the Democrats. So I can't
Mhm.
see him turning around and being like, yeah, I want to pardon this man Diddy after he said that about him.
Okay. This has been the Still a Man podcast. See you guys next week. God bless you.